which of course is set to hold right there in Ivory Coast this summer. But I'm not doing this one alone. Azu Onitsha is my strike partner on the show. Well, you could say he's a center. If he was a basketball player, he'll be playing as a center, not a point guard because of his height. And yeah, he's quite tall. Sometimes when I look at him, I feel like I'm looking up to the heavens. But hey, Azu, how you doing? Wonderful evening to you. Welcome to Courtside.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I saw what you guys did to us.
No, we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything.
We don't have any fans to battle with. We understand what you guys are doing. It's all good. Great to be here again. It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Not being able to talk about those big events that happen in the world of basketball. It was just the timing. And talking about players and their heights playing positions in the NBA, just of Steph Curry's height. So you can imagine, point guard is the best position.
Are you sure about that? I don't think so.
I will sleep and wake up and tell you the same thing again. You talk about the likes of Wambayama, talk about Kaman Malwak, the one who's been trending in the last couple of days. Those are the guys you pick for centers. Those are the 7-footers.
Well, you can comfortably play center. Look at your height.
In Nigerian basketball.
No.
Even in Nigerian basketball. Victor Koko, do you know Koko Victor? Those are one of the tallest basketball players in Nigeria. He was also at the National Sports Festival.
Olumide Oyedeji.
Yeah, those are centers. Those are centers.
Well, let's get to the center of the conversation, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with, of course, NBA Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And, of course, he capped a dominant season as he led the Oklahoma City Thunder to the NBA Championships not too long ago after beating the Indiana Pacers in Game 7 of the playoff finals. The Canadian, 26 years of age, he scored 29 points and had 12 assists in a 103-91 success over the Indiana Pacers in Oklahoma to clean the series 4-3. The first time since 2016 that the finals had gone to a deciding 7th game. He was named the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player to add to his NBA regular season MVP award and scoring title. Just the 4th player and the first in Shaquille O'Neal to achieve the red treble in one season. It is the Thunder's first title since the franchise moved to Oklahoma City from Seattle in 2008 after Seattle won the 1979 crown. And how would you actually summarize that? I mean, Game 7 had to be the decider, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for all his brilliance over the season that he's helped the OKC with, came up clutch once again and helped them to go all the way to winning the MVP, the NBA Finals. I mean, how would you actually look at the whole situation, Azu?
The best way to win a final. That's what I can say. Most deserving, you have to give it to them.
Okay.
Lots of talks happened before that game. Where is it going to switch? Are we seeing a comeback from Indiana Pacers? They did it 3-3, and we thought, okay, there's a battle. But the advantage will always be that you do so well on your table. And that's what they did. They were able to get 4 games for the home games, and it was really worth it for them. They started the season so brightly, played some very good basketball, that man leading the side, and they just kept the core of the players. It was a limited squad in that sense. You wouldn't say this is a man beyond Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doing the thing. He was just kind of time, and every other player were playing as a team, and look at where he led them. Chaton Green played some very good basketball, took it up to the final. Jalen Williams also very instrumental. Isaiah Edenstein might not be scoring too many points, but his presence in that team, the coach just knew that it's not about scoring points. There are times you need players to screen with those heights, do those rebounds with those stuff, and this man was very much present. He might not be doing so much, but this is what we have. And they played basketball with the likes of Lugos and Dot also to get their way to the final. Look at Game 7, instrumental. One man was lost for Indiana Pacers.
Halliburton.
I think that was where the final was lost.
Man. But again,
he cried his eyes out like Malwak did. So one was joyous, one was sad tears. A painful one, but basketball must go on. Pascal Siakam and the likes did all they could. But you must give it to the OKC. Like I said, they have started from the start of the season. And Indiana Pacers picked up at some point in the later stages of the league season, and they were able to finish in the top 6, qualify, and
Went all the way.
Went all the way, beating big boys. They're very so prepared. The Cavaliers were one of the whooping boys in that particular one. So, basketball and even sports generally, life is about who takes the opportunity when it comes, and I think they picked it up at the right time. Settling for second wouldn't be the worst of news. They played good basketball like this the days of Victor Oladipo also while he was with them. They played injury also slowed such a player down. So it's not the first time we've seen the Indiana Pacers always on this height. I think the time San Antonio Spurs won it with Kawhi winning it his first season, they were also very instrumental. I think it was in 2015. So you've seen this Indiana Pacers side do it, but I don't want to see them as near men. But they played one of the best basketball this season. Obi Toppin, sometimes he just comes out from nowhere, being the man who's going to lead the side. If it's not that man, it's Pascal Siakam. If it's not Pascal Siakam, Tyrese Haliburton. The man is who they say is overrated. So everybody, the two teams actually deserve to be in the final, not depending on one player. Is what I saw with the final. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is very much needed for the OKC, but sometimes they turn him off. I think it was in game 4. He was struggling to even get 2 points in a game. But
he struggled in that game.
So look at what they have at this point in time. It's all beautiful basketball. And I must say kudos to the teams that went all the way to say, okay, Lakers were tired, Golden State Warriors were tired. Let's do something new. And you said something. 2015 was the last time it happened. Golden State Warriors were 3 up. 3 up. We saw Kyrie Irving and LeBron James start off. They were playing with the game, and what happened? They dropped Ken. So it's a beautiful basketball season we've seen so far all around.
Well, of course, talking about Tyrese Haliburton, the Indiana Pacers superstar, he could miss the entire 2025-26 NBA season after having surgery on a turn right Achilles tendon. The 25-year-old fell to the court without any contact as he attempted to drive to the basket 7 minutes into the first quarter of that decisive game 7 of the NBA championship playoff finals at the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was in obvious distress as he was helped from the court and missed the rest of the game, which of course his side lost 103-91 to end their hopes of a first NBA title. The Pacers now have confirmed he would have surgery today on the injury, which has a likely recovery time of 8 to 10 months. The two-time All-Star is the third high-profile player to suffer a ruptured Achilles tendon in the season's playoffs following Boston's Jason Tatum. And of course, you already know him, the starman for the Boston Celtics, and of course, Damian Lillard of the Milwaukee Bucks. The injury is similar to the one that kept Kevin Durant out for a full season when he was hurt in the 2019 NBA Finals while playing for the Golden State Warriors. And this is disturbing news for Pacers lovers and fans. Out for the next season, 2025-26, could be out for the entire season. That's a huge blow on the Pacers.
Big one, I tell you. And that's a man who will just depend on his belief. I've seen him talk a lot about his belief in God. You have a couple of players like that, so I think that's what he'll be focusing on this point in time. Pray and just trust, and there'll be miracles, because once they say this is what is going to happen, you have to be on the table for that long. 8 months is no beans, as we say it in our local palace, right? No be beans. But in the end, take out like 2 months, and that 8 months is just speculation. For football lovers, you know what happened to the likes of Rodri and how he was almost out. I know Kyrie Irving is also going through some situation at this point. So there are players who are going through these situations. Sometimes they return earlier, depending on how they respond to treatment. Sometimes it's longer than even the 8 months that has been mentioned for him. But Tyrese is one player the Pacers will sure want to see for the new season. With the level they are, they would have wanted to continue on that high. But one thing for sure is that it's not going to be there from the start of the season. But let's see how fast the miracle comes up for him.
All right, let's see how fast he can get back into the thick of the action to doing what he loves to do, which is play basketball. Well, one man loves to play basketball, also regarded as the GOAT by many who follow the sports. Well, he's set to play in a record 23rd NBA season after his agent said that he has exercised an option to extend his contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm talking about none other than LeBron the King James. Yes, set to play in a record 23rd NBA season. Rick Paul, who is his agent, said James, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, was targeting a 5th championship after activating a $53 million or £41 million player option for the 2025-26 season. Yeah, James currently shares the NBA season record with 8-time All-Star Vince Carter. His tally of 1,562 regular season appearances is just 50 short of breaking former Boston Celtics star Robert Parrish's NBA record. In 2023, he broke Lakers icon Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's long-standing points record of 38,387 points to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer. His current tally stands at 42,184 points. He, of course, began his career in 2003 or 2003 when he was drafted first overall by his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The forward joined the Miami Heat in 2010, winning 2 titles before returning to lead Cleveland to their only NBA title with a 2016 success. He's been with the Lakers since 2018, and he helped them to win 2020 title, which was also the 4th time James was named NBA Finals MVP. His 20-year-old son, Bronny, was drafted by the Lakers in the summer of 2024, and they became the first father-son duo to share the court in an NBA game in October. LeBron James, record 23rd season, Lodi. My brother, as this man just doesn't want to leave the sport just yet.
He surely wouldn't leave, but the question now is, will he stay with the Lakers for next season? That's the next question, and it's not certain yet. The money sounds good, looks all cool, but discussions about a potential breakup between James and the Lakers heightened following that statement from his agent, Rich Paul, who said he wants to compete for a championship and is also valuing a realistic chance of winning it all again. That's what James is all about at this point. And we're hearing news. The same place when I go by Luka Doncic, possibly if he carried LeBron James going to the Dallas Mavericks. That'll be the biggest of surprises. That means he'll be going to join. Is this a planned job already? Anthony Davis is already there.
I feel
Kyrie Irving is there.
Yeah.
This is a former teammate. So don't think this is not possible. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. Don't take my words for it. But with the rumors we're hearing, those guys already got some good players. Derek Lively is still very much right. They had an injury last season. Like I mentioned, Kyrie Irving earlier had some injuries. Most likely be coming into the new season, not from the start. Like
but
we
I
talked about.
still want to see him play with Doncic again for next season.
That's the point. It will be a painful one for Doncic, but I trust Doncic for one thing. There is something you might not understand. Keeping some big names might limit every other person rising. I've seen games where LeBron James is not there. He does so well. He's a fantastic player, but some of these players find it hard to find expression. Look at it, Bronny wanting to play with his father. You might think it's a father and son thinking, they waste your time. You're not going to play with. I hope you get the picture I'm trying to paint.
I do. You
have some Achimuras right there.
So you think LeBron James has to be taken out of the picture for other players?
No, I'm not saying he has to. I'm saying if he leaves, it might just be a blessing in disguise for them. If he leaves, it might just be a blessing in disguise for them. And there was a time in particular Brooklyn Nets were buying everybody. They had James Harden, had Kevin Durant. By the way, Kevin Durant has completed his move. We'll talk about that in a bit. They had imagine all the big names you can talk about. They brought them all together. They were scoring points with reckless abandon. You will see their games end 145 to 130 something, 150. But they couldn't win a single title in the 4 or 5 seasons they played that kind of performance. So it's a painful situation you see in the world of basketball sometimes, but it's the truth. Some players just have to move for some things to happen, and the player moves in another direction, the next thing happens. PSG is an example in the world of football. I want to say beyond that.
All right, then, of course, we'll talk about PSG sometime in the course of the broadcast tonight. But again, Kevin Durant, yes indeed. Well, the acquisition of Kevin Durant marks a monumental shift for the Houston Rockets, positioning the franchise for a renewed quest for glory in the NBA. This trade, one of the most consequential in the early 2020, signals the Rockets' intent not only to reclaim a status as a formidable contender, but also to chase their first championship since the mid-90s. How do you see the deal? I mean, it's all about, Kevin Durant. I remember when he was still with OKC alongside Russell Westbrook, and you also had James Harden right there. They really did so many things together. But right now, Kevin Durant, he's moved. So I don't know how you rate that deal.
Whichever way it goes, no problems for me. He's a fantastic player. He will still give you what you know him for 20 or 18 years ago. But the challenge is not on the same form, and who Kevin Durant is from the picture we've seen so far. A lot say he just looks for a place he wants to win the title. And that's one thing you expect from a player who wants to be successful. I'm not a huge fan. Played with Golden State Warriors, won the titles he won right there twice with the same team, and it's not been the best of relationships between him and Steve Kerr. He was going to move to the Golden State Warriors in January, but he generated a lot of balls here and there. The next thing we saw was that man moving from the Miami Heat. Am I forgetting this young man's name again? Jimmy Butler. So for him moving in that direction, a good move for him. But I'm surprised that the team could let two players like Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks leave. For
especially Dillon
Phoenix
Brooks.
Suns. Especially Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks was with what's his team again? Playing alongside Ja Morant at Memphis Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
Now he's moved again to the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns have got a good project. Like I said, it could just be him needing to move, and these two guys bring in what they need, and they move on to the next level. But one man said something. Remember, he's going to meet a Nigerian coach, Ime Udoka said he had always wanted Kevin Durant. So I think he pushed for that deal, and he's gotten what he wants. So it's a good one for him. And it's not just there, along with draft picks. So Phoenix Suns are the Phoenix Suns are the bigger winners, if you ask me, at this point in time.
Okay. All right. So the bigger winners are the Phoenix Suns, according to Azuanicha. Well, let's bring it home right about now. And, of course, it's all about, the Tigress. Talking about the Afrobasket coming up, but as we wanted to add something.
Yeah, just to quickly chip in before we move away. Drew Holiday, one player for Boston Celtics, moved on to the Portland Trail Blazers.
Wow.
We can also tell you that some other players have made those deals happen. Memphis Grizzlies agreed to trade guard Desmond Bain, another player for Grizzlies, now to the Orlando Magic, for Kentavious Caldwell Pope, Cole Anthony, 4 first-round picks, and a future pick swap. We saw what Desmond Bain did last season too. Desmond Bain, rather, he's done some wonderful basketball, so I think it's a good deal for him. More names to come as far as transfers are concerned, or trades as they are called are concerned. I think we'll just stop at this so we can come back home.
All right then, and coming back home, we will definitely do right about now. It's all about the NBBF, the Nigeria Basketball Federation, releasing a 20-player provisional roster ahead of the 2025 FIBA Women's Afrobasket Tournament set to hold in Ivory Coast this summer. The provisional list includes the core of the side that won the last Afrobasket Tournament in Kigali, Rwanda, and that was 2 years ago in 2023, plus a mixture of emerging talents. Headlining the squad are experienced veterans Izine Kalu and Promise Amuk Kamara. Plus, there's a spot for star girl and Besiktas ace Amy Okonkwo, Nicole Enabosi, and Lauren Ebo are also included, while Victoria Macaulay makes a long-awaited return to the national team setup. Meanwhile, Shalakbe Amuson ends only a second call-up, while Grace Efosa has been given a maiden invite by Reni Wakama, coach of the side. Defensive stalwarts in Palace Kunai and Mojinatu Musa are ever features on the list, as well as Elizabeth Balogo, Ifunaya Okoro, Olawi Adenike, Christabel Zuma, Vera Ojenua, Izoje Uche, Gift Uchena, Ugone Onia, Blessing Ejiofor, and Abiodun Damilola Yusuf. The coach, Reni Wakama-led side, are the reigning holders of the continental competition and will be looking to win an unprecedented 5th consecutive title when the team touches down in the Francophone nation of Ivory Coast. Azu, can they do it again? Talking about the Tigers.
They look like they can. They've got the players. They've got the quality.
They got a coach
That's
too.
the only hope we have as far as playing basketball as a national team is concerned. The men look like they were rejuvenated a bit from what we saw from the last set of qualifiers. But give it to the women. 4 peats. They're looking to do 5 straight. And who will stop them at this point? Anytime I see that name, Musa Majanot in that team, I'm always happy. And why? I saw her play for Air Warriors, one of the players that were homegrown, and that's how much talent we have. That's just one of how many I will always talk about. Talk about the Amaka Wakamas. One of them, CJ, liked my post earlier today. Ketia Kashedi, one of the best players to come out of the Nigerian basketball, women's basketball league. She played for First Deporters and also First Bank. All of these girls played for the national team, but I will tell you that some of them will still have been playing till date. Atosukbe, I think she left Nigeria, played for the national team, went to the USA, played for First Bank. So. Without all of these names, with what we've got and Rina Wakama, and even some of the top names still leaving, remember Adora Elono not coming back to the side, these guys are still playing some good basketball. They felt really hot. Lots have happened to them. Whether you like it or not, they don't have the best of federations. Talking about managing these girls from underneath to the top. But
I still remember how they performed at the past Olympics, beating Australia, beating Canada as well, back to back.
They always give you their best. And you know the best of the teams that will go on to win the title will only be the ones to stop them in situations like this. So give it to them. Great side, and I'm happy to see some of these names like you mentioned. That lady will be looking to do it again. I'm Konkwo.
Yeah.
One of the most efficient basketball players as a lady you talk about. And you mentioned one of the big names also at the Olympics, who also went on to the NBA just after that very great performance. Is in the Carlin.
Yeah.
So they're a wonderful side. There's going to be really hard a team to stop them at this point in time, winning the title. They'll be playing
fifth consecutive title. What are their chances?
Yeah, very high, very high, 90 over 100. But
really?
the challenge is even beyond.
Why do they tend to do well more than the Tigers, the men?
That's why I just said something. They even have a bit of a league. But it's not about the league now. It's about players being concentrated. And how much challenge we have in basketball for women and men. The men are really growing. See South Sudan, the kind of basketball they are playing. They just got Malwak has just joined the NBA. He played with the team in the last. Look at what the same South Sudanese team played against the USA at the Olympics. Almost beat the likes of Golden State Steph Curry, LeBron James, a lot of them put together. That's how good African teams are for men. So that height for men is really strong. The last time we saw the men win it was in 2015 with Voice and his guys, Chamberlain Oguche, Ike Diogo and the like. So we know what we've got. But the challenge is our league is that. Where's Azoma Dike? We had those Abubakar Usman that we saw play basketball. I watched the All-Stars in Unilag at the Indoor Sports Hall in Unilag. It was filled to the brim. Guys knew these players' names. Mention 2 or 3 of them right now beyond Rivers Hoopers. Who else do we know? The last we saw perform to a level was Kwara Falcons playing in the BAL. So a lot has gone down with the football, with the basketball game in Nigeria. But we just hope for the best. They'll be playing with Kenya and Benin Republic in the next couple of days, 18 to be precise, 18 to 20, just a tune-up event before the tournament itself from the 25th of July.
All right then, thank you so much. That's how we call it a wrap right here on Court Side, as we will now switch to Game On after we go pay the bills. Big thank you as always to Azu Onicha for coming through. Azu, thank you so much.
Always.
But Azu will be here for Game On as well. So, we'll be conversing along with you, the fans. So stick around. After this break, we'll be back with all the talking points.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens.